Good morning, Chair and board members. Thank you for the opportunity to present the proposed merger forming Grow Group, a unified national brand that brings a trusted early learning service together with a trusted family retail brand. Our recommendation is grounded in the financial assessments that we have already presented to you. It is clear that due to rising operating costs, pressure on margins, and the need to differentiate with a relationship-led model for families, the time is now to create this incredibly unique undertaking. As you can see from the brand we are developing, the name, the colours, and the style, Grow Group is a child-first, welcoming, and stands out from the crowd. First, I would like to begin by acknowledging country. Grow Group acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which we operate and pay our respects to elders past and present. We recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have been nurturing and teaching children on these lands for thousands of years. We are grateful to work, learn, and grow together as a community. Today's story has 7 parts. Our vision and mission, why this matters, and the difference it can make to people's lives. Our values, the behaviours that will make Grow Group real and successful. Shareholder value, where returns will come from. The strategy map, how we will achieve our objectives. Return on investment, how we make sure this merger will see results. Our organisational structure, governance that will ensure the foundations of Grow Group are strong. And our sustainability approach, value with accountability. By the end, we hope you see a clear, investable pathway, disciplined growth, clear advantages, and measurable impact. Our vision is bold but achievable. To be a leader in integrated family solutions, a trusted hub that is the first point of call for every child's needs. We want Grow Group to be part of the family experience, a no-brainer in a way. As soon as expected parents get that positive test and as their child and family grows and changes, we should be an embedded part of that. Our mission is all about convenience, to make life easier for families through seamless access to excellent and safe education, wraparound care, and the comfort of essentials. Raising a family is a lot of work, and we want to support families through that. Here is the shift. Families don't experience needs in silos. Education, care, health, and essentials are intertwined. Grow Group brings those together into a single experience that removes friction, earns trust, and keeps families returning. We know that when you reduce friction and personalize experiences, loyalty rises and lifetime value follows. And of course, we are values-led. For Grow Group to succeed, these 5 values are non-negotiable. Trust, excellence, care, innovation, and one team. I'm going to talk you through the 4 key synergies that will create long-term value for our shareholders. Strategic synergy. Baby Bunting has remained an eminent specialty retailer even after threats from Mothercare and Babies R Us. Both are now defunct, whereas Baby Bunting has survived. This is not to be taken for granted. Further, G8 is also in a highly regulated and competitive environment. This merger presents a huge strategic opportunity to disrupt the retail and childcare sectors, blending product and service in completely unique ways. I will give examples of what some of those offerings could be in the next slide. Financial synergy. The operating costs for both organisations are extremely high, for leasing and salary in particular. Merging means consolidating shared functions, which should see improvement in profit margins in the long term. Production synergy. Baby Bunting and G8 already share a customer base, so this is a strength to leverage. Attracting and maintaining customers will be done through integrating those product and service synergies. And lastly, marketing strategies. Baby Bunting is the strongest retailer in the Australian nursery sector, with a huge brand recognition. This is a competitive advantage. Baby Bunting's Net Promoter Score of 72 significantly exceeds the retail industry average, which typically ranges between 30 and 60. Having such a trusted brand already connected is a huge advantage. I wanted to touch base on those innovative offerings now, and I've used the Ansoff Matrix model to demonstrate where we can leverage existing markets and products and how this merger creates new markets and products. Starting with market penetration, this is the lowest risk as it is growing share in existing markets with current offerings. For us, this means deepening engagement with existing families through initiatives like the Grow Rewards loyalty program and bundle discounts that combine childcare services with retail essentials. These are quick wins that leverage our current footprint and customer base. Moving down to market development, we take our current offerings into new markets. Examples include expanding childcare centres into underserved regional areas that would really benefit from expanded reach and access to products. There is also a potential expansion to New Zealand. You might recall from the financial analysis, due to the 2-year trend of declining revenue growth, we suggested a halt to the planned New Zealand expansion for Baby Bunting. This merger opens that opportunity back up and taps into geographic growth without reinventing the core proposition. Next is product development, which is introducing new products and services to existing customers. Here we see opportunities like the Grow Up app, which integrates enrollment, shopping, and parenting content. This would also see subscription boxes, which are really efficient for busy parents. For example, parents pick up their essentials 1 day per week from the centre when they are already there doing child pickup. It is a huge convenience and time saver for parents. These innovations deepen loyalty and create recurring revenue streams. Finally, diversification. New products in new markets. This is the highest risk strategy, but also the most transformative. For example, a telehealth service for parents. Here they can ask about nutrition, sleep advice, recommendations for what is available in store. Also, a new eco-friendly product line which could be launched alongside a sector-leading approach to sustainability in childcare centres. These initiatives align with our long-term vision and United Nations Sustainability Development commitments, but they require careful sequencing and capability building. And I'll touch on more on that in our future vision at the conclusion of the presentation. Now onto the strategy map. Tracy and Wisma propose that companies achieve market leadership by excelling in one of three value disciplines while maintaining acceptable performance in the other two. The concept is rooted in the idea that value creation is multidimensional, but leadership requires prioritization. Trying to achieve everything usually means you achieve nothing. Focusing on one creates a distinctive position in the market. For Grow Group, the number one priority is customer intimacy. When it comes to caring for children, trust and personalized care are paramount. Parents make decisions based on confidence, safety, and emotional connection, not price. By excelling in this discipline, Grow Group becomes the trusted first choice for families. Operational excellence and product leadership remain critical but secondary. They support scale and innovation, ensuring services are efficient and affordable while introducing new tools like the Grow Up app and sustainability-driven offerings. But they serve the primary goal: deep, enduring relationships with families. This leads to our strategy map, a framework designed to translate the vision and mission into real impact. We'll start from the bottom to show the cause and effect relationship. Starting with learning and growth, our priorities are digital and data enhancement, cross-skilling and development, and aligned leadership and culture. These are important foundational objectives, with the latter two a response to the merger in particular. Moving up to internal processes, digital and data enhancement and cross-skilling and development allows innovation and continuous improvement. So initiatives such as the Grow Up app. Cross-skilling and development and aligned leadership and culture allows for integration of resources. And finally, aligned leadership and culture allows for increased brand awareness and reputation. Then we move up again to customer, where the two priorities are customer satisfaction and increased market share. This has been enabled by the internal processes. And finally, the financials. More and happier customers means increased revenue, improved profit margins, and strengthened liquidity. The measures for all of these objectives are also included. These are all measures that can be benchmarked externally or by quarter or year. The key will be steady and sustainable growth. Return on investment. This is where the real benefits of the merger can be evidenced. First, we'll talk through the drivers. These ROI drivers are practical and near-term. Cost reduction is the biggest. All of these shared functions and resources need to lead to cost reduction and operating optimization. Revenue synergies. Through these innovative offerings, this is ways the business can generate additional revenue, which would not be possible without the merger. For example, the Grow Rewards loyalty program incentivizes repeat business through rewards, points, or exclusive benefits. This leads to higher lifetime value for each customer, which means greater revenue per customer. It also means higher occupancy because childcare spots are consistently filled. The loyalty and bundled offers make the service more attractive and sticky. Next is liquidity enhancements, which is a big one because, as we know, this is a current pain point for both organizations. Currently, Baby Bunting rely on inventory for equity, which isn't highly liquid. G8 does this much better because they are a service provider. The merger allows for collecting payments from customers faster and more efficiently, which means the time between spending money on supplies, payroll, etc., and receiving money from customers gets shorter. This strengthens liquidity, making it easier to fund operations, invest in growth, and handle unexpected expenses without relying on debt. And lastly, this is a reset moment for governance and risk management. This can be purpose-built to protect margins, reduce inefficiencies, and protect brand equity. And here are some of the tangible targets of the return on investment. The first being cost improvements due to scale efficiencies. Like stated earlier, consolidating HR, finance, IT, legal, and property, renegotiating leases, standardizing suppliers. This can lead to savings of $1.5 to $2 million annually and improved earnings before interest and taxes by 1.5 to 2.5%. Next, the higher revenue per customer. Revenue synergies to increase customer lifetime value by 5 to 8% through bundled offerings and loyalty programs. If you added $250 per customer, which is what we are projecting, this could be significant when scaled across thousands of families around Australia. Capital efficiency improvements, so getting more out of the same amount of capital. This will improve the balance sheet with a reduction in debt to equity ratios and reinforce financial sustainability. And lastly, the comprehensive analysis shows that all of this is achievable and sustainable. These projections are not fantasy numbers, they are evidence-based and realistic. Now on to how this entity will be governed. We recommend a decentralized structure. Corporate governance involves shareholders at the top with an overarching board providing oversight and strategic direction. Then you've got your 4 committees: audit and risk, ensuring compliance and risk management; remuneration and nominations committee, overseeing the CEO and executive team, particularly in relation to pay structures and succession planning; and finally, the finance and investment committee to provide authorization over annual budgets and also major investments, for example, the opening of new locations in New Zealand or the Grow Up app, which will be a significant cost. Then the next layer is the executive management. The CEO will drive strategic and operational execution and innovation and will be supported by 3 members of the executive team. The Chief Operations Officer, who would be in charge of all the shared function areas, finance, marketing, people and culture, business intelligence, etc. Then a Chief Retail Officer and Chief Childcare Officer, who are responsible for the two core elements of the business and their specific needs. Now to the future directions. There is already a lot of initiatives and ideas in this proposal, but they can be achieved in the short to medium term. A longer term vision is to really lead as an ethical and climate positive organisation, being guided by the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. The Grow Green program would be a world-leading innovation in integrated family services. As you can see, there are 4 SDGs in particular. Under good health and well-being, the Grow Green program would expand that telehealth project and also be available on site. In the future, imagine Grow Group also managing maternal health nurses on site, truly being a hub for every service in early childhood. Under quality education, the Grow Green program could see STEM and sustainability learning modules in those important years before starting school, true cradle-to-grave education offerings. For responsible consumption and production, the Grow Green program could see a truly circular green economy. And for climate action, we could aim for B Corp certification in our practices and policies and go beyond that to giving families rewards through our loyalty program for their sustainable practices. This could be truly world-changing and something to aspire to as we grow as Grow Group. That concludes our presentation on the proposal today, and we wanted to end on this fact. 90% of a child's brain development occurs before age 5, making early learning and family support critical for lifelong success. This is more than just improving a balance sheet for 2 organisations. This merger is about making a real difference in people's lives, setting children up for success, closing equity gaps, and completely redefining integrated family services. Thank you for your time.